Hello, hello, hello. It's Mickey Manting again, and you are here for another treat. This particular show tonight is going to be another Liz Allen ensemble. That's awesome. They've asked for me to get a suggestion from you in the chat, a one word suggestion that will be their inspiration for their entire set. They're calling themselves the Bony Finger. They're going to tell you about it. Come on up, everybody. I'll see you at the end.
I'm Rima.
I'm Cheryl from Milford, Pennsylvania.
I'm Peg from Marshfield, Massachusetts.
I'm Carrie from Omaha, Nebraska.
I'm Pat from Richmond, Virginia.
Outside Seattle.
I'm David from Amesbury, Massachusetts.
And our word for inspiration is piano.
I took piano lessons when I was a kid, and my teacher happened to be an older friend of my mother's. And it wasn't very inspiring and it wasn't very interesting. And all I remember is doing these silly little exercises back and forth, and we never played any tunes. So I started playing by ear because I could hear music. And she finally said, "You're never going to learn to read notes because you're playing by ear."
I studied piano with a composer because I wanted to learn how to write music. He used to run upstairs in his apartment where I took the lessons, and if I hit a wrong note, he'd yell to me from upstairs, "No, that's a A sharp instead of an A flat," and that always impressed me. He had perfect pitch. I never did. He also taught me that practicing wrong was the worst thing to do because it would just make you a bad piano player.
Talking about yelling brings me back to the piano that I left in the house when I left my marriage, because my son continued to play the piano. Well, the divorce happened. Years later, the piano got sold as part of the house. I wanted my 50%, because Massachusetts is that kind of state. I wanted my fair share of the proceeds from the piano. Suffice to say, there was yelling about that also. I'm still waiting.
No, 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 no. Can't you hear it? My God.
I'm hearing something, but it sounds like my mother's voice.
Your mother lives in the piano?
Why not? She loved music. Why wouldn't she be reincarnated as a piano?
Oh, I thought you meant your mother was in the piano. You mean your mother is the piano. Oh, of course. That's why you're playing only funeral dirges.
Marcia, I hate when you poke on me like that. You know it.
That's why I hit the keys so hard. I have some unresolved issues. And if I just do the scales up and down repetitively, I get a whole lot out.
Of course you do, my dear. I think that's simply wonderful. And it does help you in the rest of your life. I suggest instead of using your feet on the pedal, you also use them on the keys.
Thank you. I'll take that suggestion.
I'm warming my bony fingers. Guess why?
Why?
You are not guessing again.
Jeez. Well, you're trying to play by ear again. Play not by ear. You're just
I'll give you some clues, multiple choice.
okay.
Could it be a massage? Could it be I'm preparing my fingers for culinary precision activity in the kitchen as I chop carrots? Or could it be I'm getting ready to weed the garden?
I'd say the massage thing sounds the best.
Do you have any idea what it's like to be a self-respecting, rather beautifully made musical instrument and have every Yahoo Yutz and turkey who walks by you sit down and pound at you and play, oh, I don't know, chopsticks instead of Chopin? It is enough to make your ivories wither.
Margaret, I'm so delighted that you come back to me all these years as I practice my masseuse skills and collect my hours.
Me too. Me too, son. You've done a job.
Mom,
Quite a job.
you're the best massage dummy I could have ever asked for. Really.
End scene.
Do you think I'm getting this piece right?
I feel like it's all right there on the printed page, but I just can't feel the beat.
It just doesn't make sense to me. I see dots and lines and how does that translate to these ivory keys on the piano? I'm supposed to go, every good boy obey. Okay, then I find the B. Is that how I find the note?
Some people do it by ear.
Ah,
I feel like I must have it in for people. I mean, all my little lines and my little dots, I know they hate me, and I can't really blame them. I confuse myself.
You know what I like? I like player pianos. They don't require a lot of work.
then you don't have to read the notes and go, every good boy, or is it George buys dresses for Anna? And what are these squiggly lines that they say are supposed to have something to do with time? I don't know. I give up.
Time is so confusing, and time's relative. And if time's relative, why does it matter, really? Couldn't
You're right.
we just put everything in the margin and go from our heart? I mean, isn't it really about expressing our hearts?
Yeah. And you can't put your heart on paper.
Are you trying to remind me that it's our first anniversary?
Yes, darling.
I mean, is that what this is all about with the music and I mean,
You
Lisa,
find
you haven't picked up the sheet music for like a year, so
you finally picked up on it.
I can be a little dense. I can.
That's why it's the anniversary waltz, darling.
And scene.
Your pitch to the committee was perfect.
Thank you, Agatha. Getting your praise right before my performance review means a whole lot to me.
Jerry, you're the best salesman we have.
Agatha, I just want my fair share of the corporate profits that I've driven to the top of the line. I just want my fair share.
I loved doing sales. I did sales for a number of years, selling software to businesses. And my boss said I was one of the most competitive people he'd ever met. And that's why I love sales. You could be as competitive as you want. Nobody cares.
Jerry, I thought you loved this work. I thought you didn't care about money. I thought this was all coming just from deep inside you, your need to sell.
That, Agatha, is part of my pitch.
Wow, you're good.
Oh.
You're good. I don't know if I can sell that to the rest of the board to get you what you want, but
Agatha, after work, cocktails, I'll coach you in my skill set.
cocktails? That might be a little inappropriate, Jerry.
It is, Agatha, but we're talking about me getting my fair share.
Yeah, but I have the feeling you're going to be plying me with cocktails and think you're going to get what you want. I don't think that's no.
If I could find a fairer way to do it.
So at that same software company, there was a guy who kept hitting on me. And I told him to knock it off. This is in the day when they wouldn't get fired for that. And he kept touching me. So I said, one more time, and I'm going to smash you. So we were in the president's office, and he started doing it. And I took my foot, smashed his instep so hard, he never bothered me again. It was the greatest moment.
Jerry, show me your insteps.
Dang, I'm so glad I put on my high heel sweat socks. There you go, girl.
Yeah, I could work with those.
Yeah. And I can definitely make it worth my while. Oh, your while. Sorry, I slipped out of character.
I think you're bucking for more than 50%.
I am.
And scene.
Well, ladies,
Yes.
well, ladies, the quartet has failed.
Yes, I know.
Viola is dead. Now what?
I thought she was just missing.
She committed bow suicide.
Oh no. With a bow?
Wait, I'm back.
Oh my God, Jeanette! Did you bring the bow?
Well, I might have forgotten the bow, but I'm here.
You left the bow in the afterworld?
How can we continue to play music?
Guess maybe if you don't have a bow, you're just going to have to buy a piano.
A
No, you
string
don't need a
quartet
bow
with a
for it.
piano.
Yeah, one,
Yeah,
improvise.
we don't have
That's
strings.
true. That's true. Can you?
The only musical instrument I ever tried to learn how to play was a harmonica. And I brought it with me in my backpack, crashing with friends on Inman Square in Cambridge. And they had a dog, a Rhodesian Ridgeback. That dog ate my harmonica, and it was the end of my very promising musical career. I never forgave the dog.
We travel a lot,
Mhm.
and that's why the string quartet format works so well. What about if we get a reed section, perhaps a ridgeback who breathes in and out in harmony with our strings.
I think we should get a harmonica too.
I feel
That's a
great.
little technologically complex. What do you think, Jeanette?
I feel a little left out. I don't have anything else in the afterlife but our piano. I guess for now, guys, I'll see you in the afterlife. Or
What's
send me
gonna
up a
happen to
piano.
the group?
Oh,
Pardon?
Jeanette.
Jeanette, come back.
I'm here.
I had this dog. It was a Staffordshire Terrier, and I rescued it. The problem I had was I wasn't allowed to have dogs in my apartment, but I loved this dog. And so what I kept doing was shuffling him off to different friends to stay here for a week and there for a week and here for a week. He had a real thick head, and I used to call him Bullhead because he used to ram into me. I finally found him a home, or at least I gave him to the Humane Society so they could find him a home, and they renamed him Bully. I love that dog.
You know, I might have a few animals up here and we could, kind of use them. I could send them down and they could howl and you could make a duet, you could even make a trio or a quartet or, a five-tet.
The wolf tones, the wolf tones. It's perfect.
3-Dog Night.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How are you doing? I mean, that could be our theme song, right?
How are you?
And I could, howl from the afterlife. So,
Where there's a will, there's a way. Dead or alive. And scene.
One of my favorite movies is called Ghost Dog.
Alex, I love the way you cut to the chase right away, Alex. Really.
I was going to ask you if you wanted to see the. No?
Alex, whatever you want, I want.
Joseph, it's the 25th anniversary of Ghost Dog. They're having an all-night film festival with the other kung fu movies, and I know the.
So I was 17 years old and I went away to college and I left, of course, my Cocker Spaniel named Lady at home with my parents and my brother. And when I came home for Christmas, because that was the first time that I came home that freshman year of college, I expected to be greeted by a jumping, licking, panting dog. And I said, "Where's Lady?" And my mother said, "Oh, you weren't here, so I had her killed."
Joseph, I'm picking up what you're putting down, though. You're telling me that you just want to be with me. That's what I'm hearing.
Tonight, I want a monogamous relationship with you.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight. What about tomorrow?
12:01 p.m. is a whole brand new day.
So you turn into a pumpkin on me? What?
No, it's just that I have commitment issues. When I heard 25 years anniversary, like I'm not ready for 25-year anniversary shit.
We've talked about the commitment thing, and we've talked about how it's just anxiety, and you just need to breathe and just kind of let go, and maybe we could work up to it, say a week at a time.
So once I found out my mother had killed Lady, I had very difficult time committing to anything in my life. I mean, how could I? Something that I loved had been killed off by something else that I loved, or someone else that I loved. But I don't know. I didn't know if I could take a chance on love, especially if it was furry.
We
Jill,
talked about it. No, we talked about it. You're absolutely right. I'm not there.
I I know. I know there was that time I let you down. And I told you it was just it was the biggest mistake I ever made. And I want you to trust me. I do. I mean,
I trust you. It was the biggest mistake you ever made. Trust me. I'm not ready to give you a chance to make anything close to it again. Trust me.
Joseph, I'm in love with you, Joseph. You mean everything to me. Can't you just let it go?
It's 11:59. Time's a wasting.
Time is relative, isn't it?
End scene.
Tick.
Everybody up. As you know, as a harmonica, I had such high ideals. I really expected at some point to maybe be the best harmonica, to have someone play me as if their life depended on it. Instead, here I am in a dog's intestine. It's not what I had pictured for me. It's just not.
You know, as Lady and every other dog I speak for, number one, I don't like things crammed down my throat. And it really bothers me that all my friends are being killed off by people that supposedly love me.
I'm not that kind of beau. It's not as if you can play a musical instrument with me. It's not as if you could run me across the strings of a cello or viola. I'm meant to hit a target.
I'm memory. I can expand, I can contract, I can glow, and I can tarnish. And it's all up to you, because even more relative than time is what you remember to be true.
I've been brushing dogs' backs for years. And I bristle at the notion of just rubbing that hair the wrong way on the back of a Rhodesian Ridgeback or Pit Bull. And when they get pissed off and take a chunk out of me, it's too late.
I'm so tired of being stepped on. Everybody takes the pedals on the piano for granted and they stomp on them all the time. And I've got such subtlety. I can make the music so much better if they use me gently and carefully. And nobody does that. They just stomp down. It's so frustrating.
I love being a piano. I love everything about how it feels. When different people come and my strings vibrate, it's just the most amazing feeling. It's like the whole world is sound.
They're the bony fingers.
Yep.
Chee-goo.
Night.
Hi there, guys. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Let's everybody give it up virtually for this wonderful group.
And thank you, Liz Allen. Thank you.
Thanks, Liz Allen. Thanks, everyone. Stay around because in about 5 minutes, one of Michael Gelman's masterclasses will be presenting a small ensemble with his form Make a Movie. So thanks again. You all introduce yourselves once, but do it again so they know who you are and where you're from.
I'm Rima Labo from Tucson.
Peg Davis, Marshfield, Massachusetts.
Pat Burkhart from Richmond, Virginia.
David Silverman, Amesbury, Massachusetts.
Good Silva out of Seattle.
Cheryl Salamini out of Milford, Pennsylvania.
And Terry Armstrong from Omaha, Nebraska.
Thank you so much, Bony Fingers. We'll see you again in a few minutes. Bye-bye.